Hi, I'm Julia Burke, and you, my friend, just got very lucky. Why? Because today you are going to get very rich right here on this website with me. You don't have to do a single darned thing. You just have to listen to me blab for a couple of minutes. And then right at the end of this video, I'm going to drop cash directly into your bank account. And it's going to keep dropping every day. You're going to love it. And as for the blabbing, well, I'll do my best to keep it interesting. I've got just a few things to tell you, and I promise it won't take long. I know how boring these things can get. Well, like I said, I'm Julia, and I guess the first thing you should know about me is that I'm a real person. Weird that I would have to say that, right? But seriously, I speak at conferences, I hold training sessions right here at my house that are advertised all over Oregon. Oh, and I do look forward to having you over one day soon so that we can get to know each other. I want you to be totally comfortable in the knowledge that I am not an actress. I have never been an actress, and if I was one, I'd be a very crappy one. I'll even introduce you to my kids in a minute. Your gurus all know who Julia Burke is, and they know that I do not screw around. I move fast with my students, and results are the only thing that matters when they are working with me. And by rich, I mean whatever that word means to that specific student. For some, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. For others, it's millions. And I do not stop until you have whatever it takes for you to never have to worry about money ever again. And you have a lot to spare for goodies, of course. They will also tell you that I don't hold anything back, ever. There are no trade secrets with Julia. If you get the chance to work with me, you will know everything I know, and I promise you won't regret it. Come on in, let me show you around. I'm currently divorced, and I've got two lovely boys, Taylor and Matthew. We live in Portland, Oregon here in the famous Waxbury estate, and we're all trying to make things work since our lives have been turned upside down. They have to figure out how to live knowing they may never see their father again because he just seems to not want to be a part of our lives anymore. Sorry. Anyway, enough of the tear fest, because our lives are actually pretty darn good. Hey guys, how was school?
Hi Mom. I got an A- in my math.
Man, that's awesome! You are making Mommy really proud, you little whiz kid.
Mom, I'm starving. Can we have something to eat?
Oh, of course. Excuse me while I gotta get these fellas something to eat. But don't go anywhere. Remember, I wanted to give you that tour.
Now I want to tell you a little secret, one that I don't tell very many people. Heck, I don't actually tell anyone. I paid for this entire estate in cash. Yes, cash. I'm extremely liquid. So liquid, in fact, that the judge on our case actually ordered me to pay my ex alimony because I was making so much. Which is ridiculous because this is a guy who's doing absolutely zilch to help this family. But I can't really hide it. It's public knowledge that I'm one of the top 10 richest entrepreneurs in Portland, and I don't invest in the stock market. I don't need to. I just invest in the machine. The same machine you're about to get your grubby little hands on in a couple of minutes. Come on back outside and check out this view. Now, I know you're dying to know how I did it. How one single mom could afford to pay for this crazy estate in cash. It was several $1 million, by the way. And I'm going to tell you, if you're good. I'll even tell you if you're bad. Just don't go anywhere, whatever you do, because this is about to get really interesting. I know what you're thinking, but it's not true. I am not a spoiled princess. Maybe I was for a while, but the past 6 months I haven't even been in the game at all. I've been totally focused on this lovely batch of students. Students that need my help. These people have no skills at trading or business or anything at all for that matter, but they have a will to succeed. They've got the fire. Maybe you've got it too. Those are my kind of guys. So they contacted me off an ad that I ran, and I just wanted to see if what I've been using would work for other people as well as it works for me. So we spent just 3 days together. 3 intense days. And that's all it took. And what happened? Well, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'll let them tell you exactly what happened. I'll meet you at the tennis court.
This is Josh, and if you check out my computer, you'll see I've made $4,955.91 today. And this sucker grows every time I step away from the computer. Best program out there by far. Thanks, Julia.
Oh, Lord, Julia. You have just done something nobody ever thought was possible. You've got me making money. My family can't even believe it. And not just any money. $12,711.82 in 24 hours. I am literally freaking out every time I check my computer. Oh, God. Thanks a million, Julia.
Julia is my angel. She's by my side whenever I need her. And her love for her students really shows because I just cleared $1,419.27 in 4 hours. You rock, Julia.
I'm sitting on $2,824.39, and I literally just started 7 hours ago. How Julia does this, I have no idea. But how I'm going to spend it, for that, I have a very good idea. Julia, everything they said about you is true. You are the greatest.
This is our indoor tennis court. That's my brother Mark over there. He comes in here to play every Saturday. Hey, Mark. Good, thanks. Now, I want you to get to know those guys you just saw, and you will when you enter my inner circle. But I mostly wanted you to hear about the lives they lead now. And how crazy was that? That they were able to do this with no cash to invest and no skills. I mean, heck, I made them feel all warm and fuzzy inside with inspiration, but I really didn't do much after that. They just pushed a few buttons. And when I say a few buttons, I mean a few buttons. I know when the gurus say a few, they mean like 10,000, and you still won't know what to do. But here, I am literally talking about between 3 and 5 clicks once you're logged in and set up, because I have a system that only my deepest inner circle students have ever gotten access to. This will be the first day it actually sees the light of day. And this machine literally does all the work for you. And get this, it drops dollars into your account every 3 minutes. Yes, I said 3 minutes. Imagine right now that in your bank account, every 3 minutes, there is a $10 or a $20 or a $30 deposit, just quietly dropping in. Small amounts, I agree, but if every 3 minutes, consistently, what do you think would happen? What do you think you'd be sitting on in 2 weeks? That's right, a frickin' fortune. And what about in 2 months? A bigger frickin' fortune. What would you be driving? Who would you be dating? Where would you be living? And how much fun would you be having? Okay, now stop imagining. Because in this life, in this world with me, and you right here on this website, we will make this a reality for you. We will turn your life into that life you just saw in your mind. And it's so easy. It's so totally possible. You are going to go straight nuts with excitement the moment you try it. And that moment is now. Oh, hey Mark, I got reservations for Gino's at 6. See you there. Oh, I can't wait to see that childish grin on your face that my students always get. like they just got caught with their hand in the cookie jar at 2 a.m. Except with this cookie jar, no one will punish you for taking the cookies. See, the money you generate will all depend on the setting you choose. If you want millions, you will make millions. But not everybody wants to start there. Making big money is a big responsibility and literally changes the way people think and the way they behave. You will probably want to take it easy. But at the end of the day, the machine is yours, not mine. And the money you generate belongs to you. I don't take a cut and I don't take a commission. You can run off and leave me lonely if you want. Now I might cry, but I won't be able to say a word because I am a woman of my word and this is your ship to sail. All I do is hold your hand until you know how to steer it yourself. And you're going to feel amazing once you know how to ride. Let's go into my office so I can sit down for a minute. Now, a lot of people have been asking me lately, Julia, why do this? Why spend so much time and energy basically helping people you don't even know when you can just be making more money of your own? Listen, when someone asks me that question, I can guarantee that person is not rich, because a rich person understands. At a certain point, the extra million is just like, well, it's like another stick of gum. The excitement wears off in minutes. Now, I love gum, but there's something about watching a student, someone who just walked in off the street, a total stranger, use your methods and make his first $1 million. It just drives me wild inside every single time. They just can't believe it. I love my students, and not just because of how cool they are and how grateful they are, but since the divorce, they really make my life worth living. What I really love is what happens for the children of my students. When I see them get a brand new $20,000 play structure out of the blue, when Daddy never had the money to buy shoes for them 2 years before, it's worth more to me than my next $1 million. And my students, they understand this concept too. They are doing the same thing. They are out there helping people they didn't know before. They invite them to our late night pool parties, and that's how the inner circle grows. Now I want you to join us, because believe me, nobody is having more fun than we are. It's the winning team. And I know that when you get into our inner circle, you are going to want to invite others as well. No expectations here, but it's just my personal prediction that once you become rich, you'll be a giver. And that's going to happen very, very soon, as you'll see. Oh, how can I be so sure? Just take a look. Because the group you met before aren't my only students. These here are my Group B students. Each of them have retired, just from the information I'm about to tell you. And I'm totally proud to say we have a counter. And our counter shows that my students have generated $8.9 million using this program. That's all their income, not a penny of mine. And since I've launched this website, the one that you're on right now, we have added another $3 million. It's literally crazy what is happening in our circle. I get calls like every 20 minutes or so from my students. They just can't go to sleep before they tell me that they made another 10 grand or 50 grand. Watch, let me check my voicemail right now. You'll see how crazy it's been.
Julia, it's Wanda. Oh my God. I knew this was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be totally insane. I'm at 80 grand right now, and I just hit the button on Tuesday. You are the most generous and gorgeous person I've ever met. I love you, Julia.
So cool. Wanda rocks. Oh, here's a picture of her. She's a little firecracker. All right, next message.
Hey, this is Leighton, and I've got to be honest with you. I'm a little shook up right now because I feel like this can't be happening to me. Nothing good has ever happened to me in my life. I mean, right now I'm sitting in front of a screen that says I have $3,446.47, and this is my first day. And I didn't do anything other than listen to you, Julia. You were so sweet with all of us when you showed us this machine. I wish you the best in everything you do. Heck, I owe my life to you.
Oh, you do not owe me a thing, Leighton. You did a great job, and it's all on you. Let's check this next one. This is fun.
Julia, this is Caleb, I'm a little freaked out here because it's only 8:45 and it's showing $12,489 already. This is like way too fast. I mean, this can't be right? Right? I mean, it's not possible to make this kind of money in just a few hours. I don't know what to do. I'd love to celebrate, but I have a sinking feeling that something's wrong here. And I don't want to get in trouble with my bank, Julia.
Oh, jeez.
So, give me a call back as soon as you can. Thanks.
This poor guy, he really sounds worried. We gotta call him back.
Hey, this is Caleb, and I'm not in right now, so please leave me a message. Thank you.
Caleb, oh, I was hoping to catch you, my man. I wanted to set your mind at ease. I've got a nice surprise for you. All that income coming in, it's as real as the phone I am talking on. And you did that, Caleb. That money is all yours. And I want you to buy your kids something super nice, okay? And then please send me the video of them when you give it to them. That's all I ever ask. Oh yeah, one more thing. Do something you've wanted to do for a long time but couldn't because it was just too weird or you didn't have the money. This is your day, so enjoy it. I want you to go a little crazy here and hit me up if you and Monica want to come and do some shopping with me this weekend. I'm available, all right? Love you, Caleb. I could use a beverage. Let me show you my bar. I keep it well stocked because I do a lot of entertaining between my students, my friends, and my family. In just the last 8 days since we launched this, stories like the ones you've just heard keep pouring in, and I think I'm going to have to hire somebody to deal with all these calls. We had to expand the bandwidth on our site 4 times in 4 days. We know how to weed out most of the jerks, but the jerks that get through still take up a massive amount of bandwidth. The reason we can barely keep up is because this machine is actually the first guaranteed way to make money in the history of money-making opportunities. I mean, technically speaking, it has a risk factor of just 0.004%. Almost zero. But practically speaking, you won't even notice that. Every time you make trade, you're going to make money. Every time. That means if you have even $1 to invest, it can be 20 in an hour. If you have 20 to invest, it can be 1,000 by tomorrow. I don't like to overpromise, so these figures are conservative. But as you saw with your own eyes, my students are making money at an even more rapid pace than that. It's like having the codes to all the slot machines in Vegas. It's like getting the results to a horse race the day before it happens. In both of these cases, there is no risk. And yet, some are still scared to do it. But the guy who can overcome that fear, the guy who can just plunk down everything he has on that horse and trust what his eyes have seen, next thing you know, he's shopping for luxury yachts with supermodels. I mean, does it get any crazier than that? Anyway, you know why we can't keep the site up for long. I mean, we keep a tight-knit community. We're all like family. A dysfunctional family, but a family. No, I'm just kidding. We put the fun in dysfunction, as they say. But I'll tell you a secret. This is the thing that really holds people back. It's the instant gratification thing. It's the not being able to let go thing. See, believing me means giving up something else you believe in. And people just don't like change. To make money with this machine, you need to learn to let go a little. You will need to take your credit card out and use it. There's no going around it. Because making money is like gardening. Would you be a successful gardener if you were afraid to lose your seeds? Hell no! A gardener plants as many seeds as he can because he knows the more seeds he loses right now, the more fruits he gains tomorrow. It's the same thing here. Only this time, it's money that grows on trees. And the trees pop up 10 feet high before your afternoon siesta. So you bet on that horse. You bet whatever you can, and you don't worry because you've seen the results already, right? Well, you've just seen my students. What do you think that was? That's you seeing the results before they happen. That's you getting the cheat codes to Vegas. You know that's going to be you, because those are the only kind of students I have. And I think you know by now I would never let you down. So you can be totally relaxed and super happy right now. And get excited for what is about to happen, because we are heading off to the races and we are not stopping until you are a millionaire. Now here is an important question. If you had those horse race results, how many times would you bet on it? Once? 10 times? At what point would you get bored? A lot of my students do get bored after a while. They honestly have plenty of money and they just wanted to enjoy their time on this earth. Others will be more aggressive. But the beauty is the control. The beauty is the power. To be able to generate cash at will. If there's a flood in your house, you invest $50 in the machine and pay for the $1,500 worth of damage. You see a car you like, and you invest $1,000 and then buy the car that weekend. The beauty is this is like clockwork. It's predictable. And you will be doing something the billionaires have been doing behind our backs. Yep, I actually got this machine from these billionaire slime balls. These are guys who are making enough money with it to buy small countries. All they need is this machine and the binary options market. Why binary? Because the money is multiplied the fastest there. And if you know how to game it, you'll be making money every time you breathe. All the billionaires know it. It's their dirty little secret. But Julia knows how to tell secrets when she wants to get back at slime balls. And this one is now completely out of the bag. The wealth they create is all stored offshore, so you won't read about it in Forbes. These guys are worth 10 times what they say, at least. People have no idea. Anyway, back from the tangent. With this machine, it will all depend on you, the speed at which you invest and how aggressive you choose to be. But you will always know one thing. From my heart to yours, I promise you, you'll always be getting more out than you put into it. And the results will be quick. This is really a revolution in investment strategy that has not been taught yet and can't be found online anywhere. It was developed by a very reclusive finance professor at MIT and used by one company and one company only. One of the largest financial institutions in the world, and has been kept completely secret. We're talking about a complete blackout on information here, with seedy intelligence squads in the government keeping it secret for a long, long time. So how did I get my hands on this secret? The secret that will allow you to make more money than you can possibly imagine? Let's go down to the theater and I'll show you the story. I want to tell you how it's possible for me to make money like this. I had a job on Wall Street, a secretarial position, and I had a boss who was actually more of an ass than a boss because he was married, and then his wife got cancer and she was dying. Meanwhile, he starts dating another woman. And I was the runner for his relationship. I had to buy her flowers. I had to shop for lingerie for her. I had to screen calls from his wife and book offices after dark, because I guess it's sexy to do it on a desk or whatever. I wanted to gag. It literally made me sick to my stomach. Now, I've got to remind you, this guy is on the inside, the elite of the financial industry. He's a huge player and people do not mess with him. But every time I had to write a love note to his illicit crush, I wanted to scream. And then the pot boiled over. I don't know how else to say it. He's on the phone with his young bimbo and he says, "Hey Julia, you're getting on in age. What do you recommend for varicose veins?" Then he laughed and laughed. This became like a favorite pastime with these two lovebirds, making jokes about me. "How is the menopause going, Julia? Had a date this year, Julia? Where did you get that dress? Sears?" One day she was in the office and he asked me if the perfume I was wearing was called Gym Sock. I had had it. I just turned around and said the only thing that came to my mind. I said, "I hope you both die of cancer, then I'll be the one laughing." I dissed him right in front of her. And I dissed her in front of him. He was so mad, he got red in the face. He kicked everybody out and told me to get into his office. He closed the blinds and actually threw me up against the wall. And he had his hand up against my neck, holding me there, and said, "If you ever say anything like that to me again in front of Lisa, you'll never be able to step foot in this industry ever again. I'll make certain of it." And then he said something even more nasty. It was a rape threat. I was so shaken up, I don't even know what happened right after I ran out of there. When I came to my senses, I told my friend what had happened. She said, "Call the cops. You need to call the cops. This is insane. He can't get away with that." And then she said, "Wait a minute. You know what, Julia? No, you can't call the cops. He owns the cops. That won't get you anywhere. Why don't you leverage this?" And I said, "Leverage it? What do you mean?" She said, "You know, he's got a lot to lose. What if you told his wife what he was doing? He'd be pretty screwed. Why don't you, let him know this little charade of his is over. Send him an email." So I did. And it just said, "I know something you don't want your wife to know, but I'm angry and I will tell her." He immediately emailed me back. It said, "What do you want, Julia? Anything. Just don't do that, okay? You have no idea what kind of a chain reaction that would cause." I said, "Well, it would probably be a chain reaction that I'd like, so what's on the table?" And he said, "How about a raise?" And I said, "That's not good enough. You battered me, you threatened to rape me, and you're just an all-around asshole. I need something good." It took like 2 days. Then I was sitting at my desk when he IM'd me. It said, "Listen, the reason I didn't get back to you right away is because I had to get permission to do this. And I had to get it from some pretty powerful people. But trust me, you're gonna like it. Because with this, you won't need raises anymore. You're gonna make as much money as you want. Like us." I said, "Show it to me." So he comes out of his office with a USB, hands it to me, put it in my computer. He punches a few keys, clicks a few buttons, and then he says, "What's your bank account info?" And I said, "Yeah, right, like I'd give that to you." And he said, "Do you want this or not?" And I thought about it and realized I didn't have much in there, so there wasn't really much to lose. I said, "Fine." He said, "Enter it right there." So I did. And at the end of that day, I took a screenshot of my bank account. It was unbelievable. My life was changed forever. I ditched the a-hole, became a full-time mom again, and now I'm an investment coach for people like you. And that brings me to the really exciting part. You don't need to go through the hell I did with that guy. I'm not going to ask a single thing of you. Just your friendship. And you get to have exactly what I have. You make exactly the money I make. I make sure of it. Because this software doesn't need your hard work and it doesn't need your skill. It's simply an algorithm. An extremely sophisticated algorithm. But it's still just an algorithm that follows the cash of over 436 of the world's top investors. These are guys who are in the top 0.001%. They have software as well, even better than ours, but this amalgamates everything they are doing and tracks those actions electronically, down to 1/3 of a millisecond. That's extremely accurate. And this level of accuracy, eliminating our margin of error to under 0.01%, as I've told you, gives it by far the highest returns in the entire industry. Because the income made with this is never reported. Now, I must legally tell you that you need to report your income. The IRS will find this income, shall we say, interesting, but don't worry, I teach you how to deal with them. But just don't invite trouble to your doorstep that you don't need, and report your incredible income. Now, about my story, I have to tell you something else. When all of that happened, I had just been recently divorced. And here I was with 2 kids, both going to a private school, so I really needed the money. This was really heaven sent. But you should also know that although I knew that people were making a lot of money using trading methods, being the secretary in an office like that, I had absolutely no skills whatsoever, And I'd never even heard of the binary market. So you've got to see that if I can do this, anyone can. And this gave me what I've always wanted. It gave me the time my kids needed to spend with me after this divorce. It used to pain me every single day that I couldn't be there when they got home from school. And now I'm here every day and I see only smiling faces. So I want you to think for yourself. If you had just an extra $100,000 right now, what kind of problems would that solve in your life? Now really think about it and imagine what it would feel like. Who could you help? Whose faces could you brighten? Allow yourself to feel that, because that's going to open you up to what's about to happen in your life. You need to start getting yourself aligned for the idea of being rich. Otherwise, it's just a bit overwhelming for people at first. I gave the software a name, by the way. The only name that made sense for a software that is as powerful as this was. The Quantum Income Machine. And the only question is, do you want the quantum income machine in your life? Do you want it helping you to not just get by, but get you flying high, all over the world with whomever you want? I mean, really think about it. How many years do you have on this earth? 75? And let's say you're already 40 or 50. Do you want to spend the next decade in an office with poor lighting, with a boss who treats you like cattle? Do you want to just be a cog in a corporate machine going nowhere? I didn't think so. Well, it does not have to be that way. It's just because you're using an abacus instead of a calculator. You're using a typewriter instead of a computer. That's why life seems so hard. Technology has advanced way beyond what you can even realize. It's advanced to the point where you don't really need to worry about money. It's just generated. The only problem is the people who have this technology are extremely greedy scumbags, and they refuse to share it unless their backs are up against the wall. Which is what my boss did to me, and what I did right back to him. But now, finally, for the first time in history, you will have what they have. No more unfair advantages. Now, I know you want to know how this works. I also know you're probably worried about the fact that it might be too technical. So let me go over the instructions on how to run this software. You log in with your username and password. Done. You hit the deposit button to transfer money from any account in seconds. Done. Then you hit the green button, which, as you may have guessed, means go. And it also means green is coming in your direction. Then you just watch. Make a tea, listen to some music, read a book, or just watch that screen as the most powerful money-making machine in the world goes to work for you, doing risk-free trades using its totally risk-eliminating algorithm. And watch as that account just rises every 3 minutes. And watch how the stuff piles up, so big you will think you're seeing things. And you are. You're seeing yourself getting rich. Remember, there is no risk. According to the algorithm, if the risk quotient is not below 0.004, it simply will not take action. So you will never see your account going down. Only up and up. You can let the quantum income machine run in the background all day and all night if you like. It's a light program that won't drag down your computer. It's totally up to you how far you want to take this. I know that may sound like the shady claims you've been hearing from the shady guys on the internet, but you should hear how we make fun of those launches in my inner circle. We know that they know what we know. That their software is made by people in the Philippines making $2 an hour. If that stuff worked, don't you think the Philippines would be making a little more than $2 an hour? It's hilarious what these guys try to pawn off on people. What they have is simply outdated code that is being reverse engineered from one guru to the next, and sold and resold by cheesy actors ad nauseum. These guys who call themselves financial experts are usually in their 30s, living with their mom. They have multiple online businesses selling everything from weight loss products to penis enlargement pills. I would be amazed if they can even spell the word binary. Personally, I don't sell anything to anyone. I don't need to. Any profits I make go to my dog shelter, the Red Cross, and several other charities I support. There is only one reason I am here, and you know what it is. That's you, my dear. Because I know right now there's somebody out there watching this who needs a hand, as badly as I did in my day. I know there's a senior citizen who doesn't sleep well every night because he's worrying about outliving his retirement. I know there's a college student just trying to make it to his senior year, but it's breaking the bank and he has no idea how he'll ever repay his student loans. I know there's a single mom whose ex is not making his alimony payments and she's worried she's going to get kicked out of her house. I say to all three of you and anyone in between, if you can click your mouse right now, you can be making money right now if you are willing to take a small risk on me. Not a risk of money, just a risk of a little time and a little commitment. You can do that. You don't have to struggle. That's what they want you to think. But the fact is, the technology is now out there that can make your money problems completely disappear. Forever. And the people who've been hoarding it this whole time have it coming to them. So don't shed a tear for them. Oh, I almost forgot. Before we get rocking, and we are just a few moments away right now, can't you just taste it? I need to caution you. When you come into a lot of money, people tend to change. You need to act half responsibly, or it could be more of a curse than a blessing. So take up to half of what you earn and put it aside for state and federal taxes. I know that sounds like a lot, but just trust me on this. You need to feed the beast, as they say. Do not make large purchases with that half of the money. And if you were one of those people who just feel too burned out to do this, too jaded, too cynical from hearing claims that never panned out, I want to say this to you. If you get burned in any relationship, you have two choices. Number one, you can close your heart and just stop trying. It's an easy way out, and you'll be lonely. And sure, you won't have that pain you're so afraid of, but it will never bring you love. Well, in business, that same attitude will never make you any money either. Choice two, believe in yourself and take action. You know I'm a real person, and you know I'm not going anywhere. You're going to meet me in the members area, and I'm going to enjoy getting to know your story. But most of all, I'm going to be focused on you and your success. My job is to make sure you are making money from day one, and to ensure there are no doubts, no hesitations, and no confusion, so we can just enjoy ourselves and have a good time getting rich together. That's my policy. Things will go smooth. That's smooth with a capital S. Heck, maybe the whole thing is in caps. Because this will be like butter. After all, do you think the slime balls work hard for their money? They don't even press the button on their software. They hire someone else to do that. But while you won't be jerks like them, you will be in their shoes. You will be in their position of power. And that's a good thing. Because they've been abusing their post. We need good, ethical people to be in charge of software like this. We're about to dive into it together, but oh, I just can't help myself. I want you to see what happened on day one for a few of the folks who signed up just yesterday. Check it out.
I feel like I'm dreaming. I've got $3,485.58 in my account, and all I did was hit one button.
I guess miracles really do happen, because there is $6,539 in my account that I didn't have before. Julia, what you don't know is, you just saved a family.
Hi, I'm Madeline, and I've got great news. I just made $922 in the past 4 hours. This has been the greatest experience I've ever had with anything I've ever bought online, by a mile.
You have got to be kidding me. $1,100 in one day? All I did was hit a single button. Julia, what the hell, girl?
So when you watch that, how does it make you feel? Jealous? It shouldn't, because today is your first day. Just beyond this page, you will be making a video just like that in just a few hours from now. Hopefully, you'll agree to let us show it on our site so other people like yourself can understand how important this opportunity really is. This is the rise of the underdog. This is where the tables turn. I couldn't be more excited. Their ability to game the machine is no longer their own. And now, Finally, let's talk about something of vital importance here. The price of the machine. What would you guess? Well, for a machine that can remove all of your money problems, what should the price be? $100,000? $200,000? Well, those are good guesses for a software that is more exclusive than the Holy Grail. But those guesses are wrong. The price for the Quantum Income Machine is, drum roll please, zip, zilch, nada, zero. All you have to do, and you'd better do it fast, is put your best email in the form below. Do you hear me? You will get rich. If you obey what I am telling you to do right now, put your email below and hit the button now. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee you a single penny. If you do obey, you will be rich at the speed of a click. I'm waiting for you, excited to see you right on the other side of this page. And I'll be wearing something different, just to keep things interesting, okay? I'll wait for you there right now, and I'm getting lonely, so hit the button, please. And let's ride this money train together. Seriously, you've listened this far, and that must mean you like me. And you know my voice is lovely to listen to. But you can hear plenty of it later. Now is the time to move, not to listen. Put that email address below. I need to remind you, we do have a cutoff each day. We have to do that to ensure we can provide the highest level of customer service out there. So the last thing you want to do is hesitate right here. Because if you do that, you could be past the cutoff, and when you click the button, you could be looking at a big red page that looks like this. Don't let that happen, dear. Don't lose out on a lifetime of stress-free wealth with me just because of bad timing. That would be a tragedy. So stop whatever you're thinking and whatever you're doing. Stop it right now and put in that email address below. I'll be waiting for you on the other side. Oh, I wish what I'm about to say wasn't true, but unfortunately it is. In truth, this is your only chance. I have seen the software, and I have seen the courses, and I've seen the hype out there. I have met many of these people who sell stuff like this at conferences. There is not one product of theirs that I would recommend it to my mother, my sister, or any close family member. I wouldn't even let my dog go near it, because they simply don't produce, and they just cause you heartache, as well as a sizable hole in your bank account. So here you are. You got lucky. You are looking at the only opportunity online that is backed up by the owner of it, the person who has a 100% perfect record of being profitable, who also just happens to be a nice person. I'm telling you, this scenario will never happen again in your lifetime. This has never happened before, and I'm telling you, it'll never happen again. So put in that email address below and start making money, instead of listening to me drone on and on about what you already know. You know I'm not charging you a dime for the software, and you know all you have to do is hit a button. If that makes sense to you, if it even makes a fraction of sense to you, do the right thing for yourself and your family. Put in your email address below, and let's start making money, okay? Oh, and here's a cool surprise. I was asking myself, what can I do to make sure absolutely everyone who I bring to this website takes advantage and at least gives it a try? And then it hit me. I'm gonna take my own money to do this. Check this out. I will only be doing this for a few days, but right now, 1 out of every 3 people who sign up will get $500 cash from me right now, just like that. This is money you can use to profit big from the Quantum Income Machine right away. I will be waiting inside to find out if you are number 3 or number nothing. If you are number 3, your first $500 is on me. I'm basically paying you to do this. And if you think that's crazy, that's because it is. Because I am crazy about really helping people. I spent 10 years of my life hating every minute of what I did. Suddenly, I start offering this software, and now I'm happy. And people are happy with me. So yes, I will pay you for your success story if that's what it takes. Because I know you're jaded. I know you've been burned. And if that's what it takes, I will meet you there. You'll get my cell number inside so you can keep in touch about your progress. Okay? If that's not a good deal, I don't know what is. Put that email address below right now, or forever hold your peace. Okay guys, that's it. See you on the next page. Julia is